Continuing our basic commands tutorial and dealing with files and directories, now we're talking about moving a file or a directory. We saw how to copy it, right? So when you're copying it, the old one will stay. You take the old one, you create a copy of it. So now you have two copies of the same thing, whether it's a directory or a file. But moving is literally moving it. So there is no concept of rename, especially in Linux. You don't rename things, you move things, right? So there's no rename command, there's a move command. So we're going to look at that. We're going to move one file from one place to another place. It can be from one folder to a totally different folder, or it can be within the same folder, just changing the name. Okay, so let's take a look at that. When we look at the cheat sheet, move is MV on Mac and Linux, and move is move on Windows. Sometimes Windows is pretty straightforward, but again, MV is not that bad either. All right, so let's get to it. Before we get to the main part of the tutorial, I want to remind you this is part of a full course. It's a free course on my site that I call Engineering Toolbox. It's a collection of different topics. It's a bunch of mini courses in one big course that I meant for somebody just getting into tech, learning how to code, learning how to automate. There's a lot of different tools that will not be part of the main thing you're learning, but you still have to know. And I call them essential tools for an engineer. So it's a course that is configured in a course format, really focused and less distraction. So I definitely think you should consider taking that course. It's free, and I'm going to put the link in the description. All right, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe so you get notification when I create videos. All I do is help people learn automation, help people learn QA, and break into the tech field in general. So you would really enjoy my content, and I focus on education. All right, so subscribe and like the video. All right, so let's get back to the main part of the tutorial. Okay, so we're going to use the same exact projects. We do ls, we got this bunch of folders, and let's say we want to rename sample1 to let's say example1. Okay, so I'm going to say move sample1 to example1. If I do ls, there's no more sample1, there's sample 1.1, it was there, but there is example1, and it literally just renames it. It just renames it, so all the content are in there. Let's see how we're going to move it to somewhere else. So now let's say we're going to go into sample 1.1. Okay, we're going to do ls or ls-la. You can see there are no folders there, right? Now we're going to move sample example1 into here. So we're going to say move which folder backwards once, go example1, get this folder and move it here, right? Hit enter, do ls. Now example1 is in here. So that's all you got to do. You're going to do move old path to new path. That's really pretty much the command you're going to do. It's pretty straightforward. Like move the old file name with the new file name. We just saw how to do a folder. We can look at file. It's the exact same thing. So we have this foobar, right? Foobar.py. I'm going to say move foobar.py to bar foo.py. I just renamed it. If I do ls, instead of foobar, it's bar foo now. Just renamed it. So move is that. Moving into a new folder is the same thing. So for example, if I go to cd backwards sample, let's do sample3, I do ls, I can move barfoo, right? So I can say move it is in sample 1.1 barfoo, and I want to move it here. So if I do ls, there is barfoo here, but if I do cd backwards and cd sample 1.1 ls, it's not there no more because it's moved. By the way, I wanted to list this folder, right? And I didn't need to go there. I could have just said ls and give it a pass. So for example, right now I'm in sample 1.1, right? And I want to actually list the content of sample 4, right? So I can say go back out, go to sample 4, hit enter, and it actually listed out. I'm in sample 1.1 right now, but I can tell it I want a list of that directory. If I want to list downloads folder, I can say ls, and I can go to the full path. The full path usually is tilde for homepage, and I can say downloads ls, and it literally downloaded, listed out everything that's in that folder. So you can say ls, and you can give it the full path. We didn't talk about that earlier, so I figured I'll bring it up, right? So let's check it out in Windows real quick. So let's say we have the sample 1. We want to move it to sample 10. We're going to say move sample 1 to sample 10. And I say dir. There you go. There's no more sample 1, but there is sample 10. So everything we just talked about is applicable here. You can move the whole folder, just give it the full paths and things like that. Again, play with it, try it out, try different things. Just like I showed you earlier, moving a wildcard, right? Doing a star. How does that work? When you do move, let's say sample 2, and you do slash and you do like full slash, this might mean different than you don't do slash. All right, so you have to try it out and see what happens when you do different things. In fact, when you don't do slash, no such file or directory. Okay, see how without the slash it failed, with the slash it did not. So that is, even for me with all this experience, I still have to be like, oh, should I do a star? Should I put a slash in there? Right? But the beauty of programming is you get to test everything out just right there, right? Just test it out, see which one works for you. So don't be scared of that. So move is another really a common topic that you wanted to look into. All right, so let's move on to the next one.